Bang, bang. You're having fun with it. Alright, come on, we gotta do it with a minute. We don't need the music to do it with. We know what to do. It's called looking on the thing, right?
No, but I didn't want the music.
We're not allowed to have the music. Alright, here we go. I'm dancing moves.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mitchell Family Reality Show TV, The Christmas Story. We have two more. We have tonight and tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be done with the Christmas story of the year, and we'll be coming back next year on December the 1st. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to actually acknowledge here. Knight Rider, what's good? Come on, David.
Hey, okay. And I want to teach you how to dance, like, do you want to beat?
Laura.
Do you want to beat? And that's like.
Make sure y'all smash that like button, guys. All right, guys. Who's all on Facebook? Jake Christian Cage. Jake. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mitchell Family Reality Show TV Christmas story reading. One more day left, and we'll be done for the year.
Guys, one more day to Christmas.
After tomorrow.
Yeah!
This story is called Little Girl's Christmas. It was Christmas Eve. And the little girl had just hung up her stocking by the fireplace. Right where it would be. All ready for Santa when he slid down the chimney. She knew he was coming because it was Christmas Eve and because he always had come to leave gifts for her on all the other Christmas Eves. That she could remember and become because she had seen his pictures everywhere downtown that afternoon when she was out with mother. Still, she wasn't just satisfied. Way down in her heart, she was a little uncertained. You see, when you have ever really and truly seen a person with your very own eyes, it's hard to feel as if you especially believe in him, even though that person always has left beautiful gifts for you every time he has come. Oh, he'll come, said the little girl. I just know he will be here before morning. But somehow I wish. Well, what do you wish? Said a tiny voice close by her. So close that the little girl fairy jumped when she heard it. Why, I wish I could see Santa myself. I just like to go and see his house and his workshop and ride in his sled. And now Mrs. Claus would be such fun, then I'd know for sure. Why don't you go then? Said a tiny voice. It's easy enough. Just try on these shoes and take this light in your hand and you'll find your way all right. You'll find your way all right. So the little girl looked down at the hearth and there were two cunning little shoes side by side.
Not him, not the boys.
A little spark of a light close to them, just as if they were all made out of one of the glowing coals of the wood fire. Such cunning shoes as they were. Little girl could hardly wait to pull off her slippers and try them on. They looked as they were too small, but they weren't. They fitted exactly right, just as little girl had put them both on and had taken the light in her hand. Also came a little breath of wind, and away she went up the chimney along with so many other little sparks past these soup fairies out into the open air where Jack Frost and the stars beings were all busy at work making the world look pretty for Christmas. Away went the little girl, two shoes, bright light, and all the higher and higher until she looked like a wee bit of a star up in the sky. It was the funniest thing, but she seemed to know the way perfectly and didn't have to stop to make inquiries anywhere. You see, it was a straight road all the way, and when one doesn't have to think about turning to the right or left, it makes things very much easy. Pretty soon the little girl noticed that there was a bright light all around her. Oh, a very bright light. And right away, things down in her heart began to make her feel very happy indeed. She didn't know that the Christmas spirit and little Christmas fairies were all around her, even right inside of her, because she couldn't see a single one of them, even though her eyes were very bright and could usually see a great deal.
Oh, his baby daughter is so cute.
But that was just it. The little girl felt as if she wanted to laugh and sing, be glad, and be glad. It made her remember the sick boy who lived next door. And she said to herself that she would carry him one of her precious picture books in the morning so that he could have something to make him happy all day. By and by, when the bright light all around her grew very, very much brighter, the little girl saw a path right in front of her, all straight and trim, leading up a hill, a big, big house with ever and ever so many windows in it. When she had gone just a bit nearer, she saw candles in every window, red and green and yellow ones, every one burning brightly. So the little girl knew right away that these were Christmas candles to light her and her journey and make the way dear for her. And something told her that this was Santa Claus's house. That was pretty soon she would perhaps see Santa Claus himself. Just as she neared the step, and before she could possibly have had time to ring the bell.
Don't even feel it. Just put your hand here.
Yep.
No, just put it right.
Yep.
I did magic. And watch. To stop the air.
Had time to ring the bell.
Do you feel it?
Nope. To ring the bell, the door opened. Opened itself as wide as it could be. And there stood, not Santa Claus himself, don't think it, but a funny little man with a slender little leg and a roly-poly stomach, which shook every now and then when he laughed. You would have known right away, just a little girl knew that he was a very happy little man. And you would have guessed right away, too, that the reason he was a roly-poly was because he laughed and chuckled and smiled all the time. For it's not only sour, cross folks who are thin and skimpy, quick as a wink, pulled off his little peaked red cap, smiled the broadest kind of smile, and said, "Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, come in."
Daddy, can we turn this off because it's just FGTV?
No, because I'll get copyrighted. So
It's just FGTV.
I'll still get copyrighted because they got their stuff's copyrighted. So in went the little girl, holding fast a little man's hand, and when she was really inside, there was the jolliest, reddest fire, all glowing and snapping, and there were little men, all his brothers and sisters, who said their names were Merry Christmas and Good Cheers.
Yes.
So many other jolly sounding things, and there was such a lot of them that little girl just knew she never could count them, no matter how long she tried. All around her were balanced and boxed and piles of toys and games, and the little girl knew that this was all ready and waiting to be loaded into Santa's big sled for his reindeers to wheel them away over cloud tops, snow drifts, to the little people down below who had left their stockings out all ready for him. Pretty soon, all the little good cheer brothers began to hurry and bustled and carry along the bundles as they could to the steps where the little girl could hear the jingling bells and the stamping, and the stamping of the hoofs. So the little girl picked up some bundles and skipped along too, for she wanted to help a bit herself. It's not fun whatever at Christmas unless you can help, and there in the yard stood the biggest sled the little girl had ever seen, and the reindeers were all stabled and prancing and jumping, the bells on their harness, because they were so eager to be on their way to the earth once more. She could hardly wait for Santa to come, and just as she had begun to wonder where he was, the door opened again, and out came the whole forest of Christmas trees. At least it looked just as if a whole forest had started out for a walk somewhere, but a second glance showed the little girl that there were thousands of Christmas spirits, and that each one carried a tree or a big Christmas wreath on their back. Behind them all, she could hear someone laughing loudly and talking big in a big, lovely, joyful voice that sounded as if he were good friends with the whole world. And straight away, she knew that Santa himself was coming. The little girl's heart went hit a pat for a minute while she wondered if Santa would the wonder long for he spared her at once and said, spared her and at once said, "Bless my soul, who's this and where did you come from?" Bless my soul, and who's this and where'd you come from? The little girl thought perhaps she might be afraid to answer him, but she wasn't one bit afraid. You see, he had such a kind little twinkle in his eye that he felt happy right away. So she replied, "Oh, I'm a little girl and I wanted so much to see Santa that I came, and here I am." Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Here you are. Wanted to see Santa. Did you, or should you come? So you come, and that's very nice. And it's too bad I'm in such of a hurry, for we should like nothing better than to show you about and give you a real good time. But you see, it's a quarter of 12 now, and I must be on my way at once, else I'll never reach the first chimney top by midnight. I'll call Miss Claus and ask her to give you some supper, but she is busy finishing dolls' clothes, which must be done before morning, and I guess we better not bother her. Is there anything that you would like, little girl? And good old Santa put his big warm hand on the little girl's curls, and she felt its warmth and kindness clear down to her very heart. You see, my dear, that even thought Santa was in such a great hurry. He wasn't too busy to stop and make someone happy for a minute, even if it was someone no bigger than the little girl. So she smiled back into Santa's face and said, "Oh, Santa, if I could only ride down to earth with you behind these sled reindeers, I would. I'd love to go. Wouldn't you please take me? I'm too small. I'm so small that I won't take up much room on the seat, and I'll keep very still and not bother one bit." Then Santa laughed, such a laugh, big and loud. Rockling, he said, "Wants a ride, does she? Well, well, should we take her, little elves? Should we take her, little fairies? Should we take her, good reindeers?" And all, hold on one second. I'm having some small technical. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. And all the little elves hopped and skipped and brought the little girl a spring of joy. And all the little fairies bowed and smiled and brought her a bit of mistletoe. And all the good reindeers jingled their bells loudly, which means, "Oh yes, let's take her. She's a good little girl. Let her ride." And before the little girl could even think, she found herself all tucked up in a big furry robe beside Santa Claus, beside Santa. And away they went, way out into the air, over the clouds, through the Milky Way, and right under the very handle of a Big Dipper on towards the earth land, whose lights little one's roof, and that Santa would slip down someone's chimney in a minute. Let's see.
She flows like this. Mike flows like this.
I need to fix this.
Like this.
Here's the He-Man.
How she wanted to go to. You see, if you had ever been down a chimney and see Santa fill up the stockings, you would want to go quite as well as quite as much as the little girl did. Now, wouldn't you? So just as the little girl was wishing as hard as ever she could wish, she heard a tiny voice say, "Hold on tight." It to his arm. Hold on to his arm. So she held Santa's arm tight and close, and she held it, his pack, ever thinking that it was braver than usual. And with a bound and a slide, there they were. Santa's little girl, packed all in the middle of the room where they was a fireplace and stockings all hung up for Santa to fill. Just then, noticed the little girl had forgotten all about her for a minute, and he was very surprised to find that she had come to. "Bless my soul," he said. "Where did you come from?" The little girl. "And how in the world can we both get back up the chimney again? It's easy enough to slide down, but it's quite another matter to climb up again." And Santa looked real worried, but the little girl was beginning to feel very tired by this time, and she had very exciting evening. So she said, "Okay, never mind me, Santa. I've had such a good time, and I just as soon stay here as a while as not. I believe I'm curled up on his wreath rug a few minutes and have a little nap, for it took as warm and cozy as our own wreath neck at home. Wreath rug at home. Why is it? Excuse me. Why is it our wreath, and it may own nursery for their teddy bear in their chair, where I leave him every night, and there's a bunny cat curled up in the cushion in the corner." And the little girl turned to thank Santa and said goodbye to him, but either he had gone very quickly, or else she had fell asleep very quickly, never could tell which, never could tell which. For the next thing she knew, Daddy was holding her in his arms and was saying, "What is my little girl doing here?" She must have gone to bed, for it's Christmas Eve, and old Santa wouldn't come if he thinks that there are any little girl, any little folks about. But the little girl knew better than that, and when she began to tell him all about it, how the Christmas fairies had welcomed her, and how Santa had gave her such a fine ride, Daddy laughed and laughed and said, "You've been dreaming, little girl. You've been dreaming." But the little girl knew better than that too, for there on her wreath was the little black coal, which had given her 2 shoes and bright light, and tight in her hands she held a holy berry, which one of the Christmas spirits had placed there. More than all that, there she was on the wreath rug herself, just as Santa had left her. And there was the best proof of all. The trouble was, Daddy himself had never been a little girl, as he couldn't tell anything about it, but we knew she had been dreaming now. Doesn't we, my dear? The end. A place at this huge harkens back to the 1980s. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this comes to the conclusion of the Christmas story for tonight. We want to thank each and every one of you all for being here on Facebook. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you share this out on Facebook. Until tomorrow night, we will be, check out the description, check out the P.O. box and the merchandise, but make sure you wait and tune in till tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will be a special one, since it is the last night. See what we got coming your way. Thanks for watching here on Facebook.
5 blocks, 1 L column, 1 crafting table, 1 diamond pickaxe, 2 diamonds, 8 torches, 1 ladder, and 1 sticker sheet. Position the 8 torches. Nope. Other figures available.
I hope each and every one of y'all, hope y'all, each one of y'all enjoyed the live stream as much as we did. Hope y'all enjoyed
Open this box.
That was creepy.
It's a lot of large pieces in here.
y'all have enjoyed this as much as I have.
Let's check on the smaller side first.
We've enjoyed it
The front door piece.
very, very much.
This set is pretty strong. Will probably hold up to some punishment. Opening and closing front door here.
I'm reading comments here.
Interesting. We have a crafting table here. Heavily stickered up. Couple pieces of diamond.
So,
Looks like we have an elevator corner piece. And we
I
have
want to thank each and every one of you all coming.
Probably
Hope you all, like I said, enjoyed it.
concerns.
What do this?
And we have a bunch of sand pieces to play Tetris with.
We're glad that each one of y'all came.
We have a ladder.
But this includes the Christmas story for tonight.
A bunch of torches.
So if you have been here on the live stream or not, please go back and watch the replay. Leave an awesome comment.
But they have a little bit of
Smash that like button and make sure you subscribe if you have not, so you can join our family. Thank you, Julie. Make sure you subscribe if you have not, so you can join our family. If you have subscribed, we want to say welcome to the Metro Family Reality Show TV family. Welcome to our family. And also, if you've already subscribed, you've been here for a while, we want to say thank you for being part of our family. Thank you for being here on the Mitchell Family Reality Show TV. Thank you very much. Check out the description, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Megan Fox. Hope you're starting feeling better. So make sure y'all check out the P.O. box. Send us a family mail, letter, postcard, or a card, or a box. Goodies. Also, check out the merchandise, ladies and gentlemen. The Christmas shirts is still on sale before it's too late. Grab mine and Chuck's shirts. Grab any other merchandise before the Christmas sales ends. You still may be a little late, but you still get it. All right, guys. Hey, Renee. So, like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, wait till you see what we got coming your way next. Love you all. Take care.